Let's move on to the system. Now for the demo. Here we have a public cloud, a test system which we use to stay up to date and to be able to test the relevant new features promptly. And you can see up here on the right edge of the screen, this diamond, that's the symbol for Joule. Joule is currently available in both the private and the public cloud. If you're wondering why it doesn't appear for you, it needs to be set up and activated accordingly. So, there are a few preparatory steps required before you can use Joule in your systems. It's not available in the on-premise version. And there are currently no plans for this either. I just wanted to mention that briefly. Let me show you a new conversation here. So, I had already started a few inquiries in advance. I could now make my request here in natural language. For example, I might not know where to find something, like information about permissions. So, I'll ask, which permission do I need to be able to use the Financial Business Insights functionalities? So, as a key user, for example, if I get stuck or have certain questions like which apps are available or what exactly I need to do, then I could, in that case, get an answer here accordingly. Here, you can see that I need to assign myself to a catalog and an app. And I'm also shown the source where I could jump directly to get more detailed information. I could also ask further, for example, how do I assign a role to my user in the public cloud? Which app is necessary for that? And then I would work my way through it, step by step towards the solution. That's more in the direction of a training resource, so as a colleague or point of contact, so that I don't have to search, whether in SAP help or in the training content. I can often get a good step further here. A second use case could be that I start an analysis directly via Joule. For example, show me a list of all business partners or customer orders, or whatever it may be, production orders. And then, I get an automatically generated list here and can jump straight to the relevant business partner. So I wouldn't have to search for an app or set filter criteria either. I could do that directly from here and jump straight in. So, I think for certain queries you might have, it's actually quite helpful, because you can start right here on the home screen, save time, and be taken straight to the relevant transaction. For example, I could also ask which apps I can use to analyze customer orders or to call up cost center reports. That would be possible as well. That was Joule. I just wanted to talk about it briefly in my demo. And then I've brought along 3 more AI capabilities, but these need to be activated separately. We've done this accordingly in our public cloud. And one capability that I find really great, especially as I'm a PS consultant, is the review booklet, which you have in the public cloud to be able to analyze the cost centers accordingly. So it's already pretty handy in itself. And with the AI capabilities that are additionally available, it becomes even more attractive. I'll show you that briefly. So now I'm going to analyze the data, mainly for the last year, as that's when most of the data is available. I still need a cost center hierarchy. Then I select the node for Germany, set up the report, and here I have the actual data from the last financial year. I can then drill down into the data, look at the individual accounts, and check my results. I really like the report because there are various options on the right-hand side. Anyone who has worked in the ECC world and knows the classic report painter-writer reports or standard reports will know that you often want to make changes. Here you get a lot out of the box, such as certain filters. You can also display specific columns here, if you need them or if you find them useful or necessary. At the top, you can choose to show only accounts or to include cost centers as well, so it's a bit more like BI, embedded analytics, and so on. You'll feel at home with this, or at least find it familiar. Certain formatting options can be applied directly, or you can export to Excel and PDF. What I also like up here is that you can share these reports directly via Teams, chat, or by email, and say, "Dear colleague, have a look at this. Something doesn't quite add up. Could you take a look at it?" But what I wanted to highlight, which is actually our main topic, are the AI features. You can see them down here on the right-hand side. Panel, the big one with the little star. That's always the indication. AI is integrated here in the S4 system. You'll find this in several other places as well. And this functionality here is called Financial Business Insights. And I can now have the data from the cost center report summarized by the AI. And then I receive a management summary of what has happened in cost center accounting, for example, that travel expenses have increased, while material expenses, material costs, have decreased. At the moment, there's not much data in the system here, but I think this is a functionality that, if you're a large manufacturing company with lots of data and you want to carry out a certain analysis, at a glance, you really gain a lot of added value here. Because you save yourself a great deal of manual work and can already draw certain insights from the report. The same applies here. There are further functionalities where you can say, "Show me" the cost centers with the highest deviation or with the lowest, accordingly, and you're shown certain data here. Or, for example, what are the main cost drivers in my cost center accounting? Something is then evaluated and displayed accordingly. So I really find it very appealing and good, not only because of its efficiency, but also due to its user-friendly nature. And I think you can also save a lot of time if you want to carry out certain analyses, whether they are simple or more complex, depending on your specific needs. It's also very useful for our daily work, as you automatically receive the evaluation or analysis accordingly. A second feature I wanted to show is in the SD area. For this, I use the Manage Sales Orders app, and here at the top, you can see the feature again. In this case, it's called Easy Filter. The point here is that I could now display in the list all customer orders currently in my system. And with the Easy Filter, I have the option to enter filter criteria in natural language. You no longer have to create a complex search query with specific fields. That can sometimes take quite a while. Depending on what you want to analyze, it can involve quite a bit of clicking around. Here you can quite simply say, "Show me all." Customer orders with a delivery date of the 1st of October. That's what I did last time as well. So you can also see your previous history up here straight away. Of course, I'd already tried this out beforehand, and I then automatically get a list here. So I can imagine that this could save time here and there, if you don't have to set all the filters manually. This feature is now available here in the app, and it's also partly available elsewhere. The functionality is also offered in part in other apps. You just have to see where you can make use of this functionality. Then there's another feature called Summarization of Sales Orders, which I wanted to show. We can see it up here. Here, too, you can see the star indicating the AI feature. And the sales order is pretty much the object that contains the most data. So, it's very comprehensive in terms of all the data: main contractor, goods recipient, invoice recipient, all the information included, the various items, material number, order value, pricing, status, and so on. So, you can analyze a lot within the sales order. And anyone who works in sales knows that you often have to click through various sections. SAP has created a nice feature here, which, in my view, provides a good summary of the sales order. Here, you can select from these options what you want to analyze. I'll just select everything now and let the AI summarize it for me accordingly. A window opens up, similar to Word. with certain formatting options, which I also have available here. And now the system, or the AI, automatically generates a summary of my display with the number 12. This provides all the information I have just selected: document time, display time, then the key fields, the main fields, display number, status, what the display volume is, who created it, etc. But also down here, an overview of the relevant items, which I find very useful, especially when you have many items across different business partners, and a summary. And I can also format this summary as needed and make it available to my customers if there are any inquiries, or to share information with colleagues when necessary, also directly here via email or alternatively through Teams integration, as required. So I also find that really, absolutely helpful in this regard, saving time, quickly getting into discussions, and actually being able to make certain decisions or take action, to be able to take measures if something goes wrong here, or if I need to do something. Those were the 3 areas, or rather the 4 features, that I wanted to show. Firstly, what Joule can do. And 2 use cases here. Of course, much more is possible. I think you will need to try it out for yourself to see which use cases you have, which modules are in use, and where you can make good use of Joule. And then, of course, these 3 AI capabilities. First, the review booklet with AI financial business insights. Second, 4 client assignments, AI-powered smart filter and summary capability. All of these need to be activated individually in the system in order to use them accordingly. This shows what is already possible with AI in S4 right now. With my approach, you will gain real, significant benefits and advantages if you start with AI today. If we have sparked your interest, please feel free to get in touch with me at any time. I would be happy to hear from you. My email address is sarah.liketwice@pikon.com.